IBO. SMST. RNAZ. RNAZ.
Benzinger
ALUR.
market update, S&P futures down 15.50, the Dow futures down 140, NASDAQ down 72.50. Crude is down 29 cents at $67.78. Natural gas down 5 cents at $3.93. Gold is down 260 at 30.4120. Bitcoin futures down 70 at 84,125.
ALUR. ALUR. ALUR.
NAK.
NAK. IBO. IBO. ALUR. ALUR. PNBK. IBO. RNAZ. TSLL. IBO. IBO. AREC. IBO. IBO.
NAK.
IBO. IBO. PNBK. SOXS. RNAZ. 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 RNAZ.
NAK. AREC.
Cold. 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 RNAZ. ALUR. ALUR. QBTS. MU.
Wind.
ALUR. 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 TKC. MVST. TRNR. EYEN. DSS. TOMZ. PNBK. IBO. RNAZ. TSLL.
NAZ.
SMST.
ONDS.
SNGS.
NAH. NAK.
TOMZ.
PDIL.
PNBK.
SOWG, so good, reporting their results.
MSTR. ABGL.
Golf.
MRVL. MPEAT. TLAB.
CPOP.
TQQQ. BDD.
Pop culture
TLAB.
group received
TLAB.
NASDAQ notification on
TIGR.
minimum bid price
TQQQ.
requirement. That's Charlie Papa Oscar Papa.
JD. AMPX. AMPX.
ELAB PMGC Holdings announced announcing share repurchases from existing shareholders. That is
MUFG.
Echo Lima
PNBK.
Alpha Bravo, ELAB.
RNAZ. ALUR.
NBV.
PNBK.
NAK. Lee. LUNR. TEM. ADTX.
ALUR.
NAK.
AMPS.
NAK. NAK.
NAK.
NAK. AMPX.
IBO.
AXIL, Axel
EBO.
Brands set sights on offline expansion and global market growth. That's Alpha X-Ray
AMPX.
India Lima, NVEE. NV5 acquires Sierra Survey
TDTH.
in North Carolina. That's November Victor
AMPX.
Echo Echo. MSTR,
TDTH. AMPX.
Strategy
EBO.
Prices Perpetual Strife Preferred Stock Offering.
AMPX.
That's Michael Sandy Tango Romeo.
XHLD.
AMPX.
AMPX. ALUR.
STL. HL.
ALUR.
MURCHI. CRH. AG.
RNAZ. ELAB.
BFRI, Biofrontera, reporting a loss of 19 cents. The estimate was a
TSLL.
loss of 24 cents, so that's better than expected for BFRI. Revenue
KZIA.
$12.6 million. The estimate was 11.5 million, so that's a beat for Bravo Foxtrot Romeo India.
ALUR.
ELAB. ELAB.
ALUR.
ELAB. ELAB.
AZN AstraZeneca, another
ALUR.
collaboration with Syneron Bio.
ALUR.
AstraZeneca to provide upfront payment and potential
MUKK.
near-term milestone payments, including $75 million and up to 3.4 billion in additional milestones.
IBO. IBO.
AMPX.
ELAB.
ALUR.
ELAB. ELAB.
ELAB. Watch the spread.
ELAB.
ELAB
ELAB.
shares popping here now,
Big spread.
hitting $9.
ELAB.
PMGC Holdings on
Big
that
spread.
press release from the company, Echo Lima Alpha Bravo, buying back shares from existing shareholders.
ELAB.
That's Echo Lima Alpha Bravo.
AMPX.
IBO. ELAB.
PFE.
ELAB. ELAB.
PLTR. DJT. NAK.
ELAB.
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 $9.25 now.
ELAB.
ELAB.
That share buyback announcement.
ELAB.
Float stock.
ELAB.
ELAB.
AMPX.
570,000 shares.
BND.
Float on ELAB, Echo Lima Alpha Bravo.
Cold.
AMPX. AMPX.
ELAB. RNAZ.
AMPX.
IBO. TSLL.
ELAB.
Cold.
NAK.
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 RNAZ.
NAK. 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 NAK.
NAK.
ELAB.
AMPX. ALUR. IBO. AMPX. IBO.
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 ELAB, IBO,
PNBK, IBO, IBO,
NAK, NAK,
IBO, RNAZ,
NAK,
IBO, TDTH, ELAB, IBO, TDTH, IBO, ALUR, IBO, ELAB, RNAZ, ELAB, PNBK, IBO, PNBK, TDTH,
TDTH, IBO,
ALUR, IBO, RNAZ, ALUR, ALUR, RNAZ,
LITM,
LITM,
MAMA,
RNAZ, PNBK,
NAK, Sony,
ELAB, ALUR, LITM, ALUR,
TLT,
RNAZ,
THM, ICCM,
ELAB, 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 ALUR,
THM,
RNAZ,
THM,
ALUR,
THM,
UPS is right behind me.
ALUR,
THM.
Alright everyone, we might have some things over here on the right. Maybe. I usually take a left. Now I'm going to probably throw
ZSPC.
myself.
THM.
ALUR.
UPS is right behind me. They can wait half a second.
THM.
LITM. IBO. RNAZ.
IBO.
RNAZ.
Alright, well now I gotta. I don't know if I had to loop around. Actually, I think that's my buddy. I should have made him wait. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen him. Anyway,
RNAZ.
yeah, it's trash picking. Is that him? Can't tell. I'm driving through branches looking, trying to look backwards. Anyway, everyone, welcome back to another episode here with Taco Stacks. It is trash picking day. Hoping to find some treasure. We have a couch out there. I can't use that. That's all the way over there. I picked up a power drill at the first spot. I left that wooden shelf thing, which I think if it's flea market season, I would grab it. It's a hit or miss item right now.
RNAZ.
I don't even know what it is. In fact, I'm right back to where we started.
IBO.
The dresser that they completely took all the drawers out, and then I guess they knocked off the side piece.
IBO.
That's kind of interesting. They turned into a shelf.
ELAB.
Anyway, enough yapping. It's trash day. Let's find some treasure. Let's make it a good one. Hopefully not
TSLL.
leave anything too good behind. Let's do it. All right. Second stuff.
LITM.
I don't even know what this is.
ALUR.
Still don't know what they are.
IBO. IBO.
I'm going to say plant stands.
IBO.
Almost
Ebo.
like shepherd's hooks. That's what I'm guessing.
PNBK.
You know what I would say? Those are not getting scrapped. They are steel, but those will definitely sell.
HUIA, who
Definitely
you
sells
provides
'cause
update on share buyback program.
Someone who's been doing this as long as I have.
Company authorized to
Only
repurchase
emergency
$100
plant
million
stands
of
look like that.
ADSs
And that's what I think they are.
as
So I
of
assume, this is what I kind of do when I assume, is that
March 20th. The
anything
company
weird
had
always
repurchased
sells.
about $1.1
Hey.
million
Yang.
of its ADSs. That's HUIA, Hotel Uniform Yankee Alpha.
IBO. IBO. LITM.
LITM.
IBO. 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 PNBK. IBO. 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 PNBK.
WMT.
IBO. 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 IBO.
PL.
IBO. IBO. RNAZ. IBO. 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 LITM.
LITM. LITM.
LITM. PNBK. RNAZ. TSLL.
HLF.
HLF.
Debts.
RNAZ. TZA. PNBK. XHLD. ALUR.
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity. But for the first time, there's a platform that fixes it by combining everything you need. Projects, chat, and knowledge in one place. It's all powered by the world's most complete work AI, so you can find answers from anywhere and get work done faster. Introducing ClickUp, the everything app for work.
Why is filing your taxes with Free Tax USA different? Well, for starters, our premium federal tax returns are free for everyone, no matter what. With a free offer like this, people often ask, so how do you make money? While our federal return is always free, we make money from our optional paid services, like our state tax return, which is less than $20. Next, you may be asking, why is Free Tax USA the best alternative to TurboTax and H&R Block? For over 20 years, Free Tax USA has focused on quality software, great customer support, and value pricing.
EM.
ITM.
LITM.
LITM. LITM.
Yang.
TLT. LITM.
IBO. ALUR.
LITM. LITM. LITM.
RNAZ. LITM.
LITM. LITM. LITM.
IBO. ADTX.
HLF. HLF.
RNAZ.
HLF.
ALUR. ALUR, LITM, RNAZ, RNAZ,
ADTX, ADTX,
RNAZ, RNAZ,
Coming up at 9:05, comments from Feds Williams. At 1 p.m., the Baker Hughes U.S. rig count.
HLF, LITM, LITM, LITM,
IBO, PNBK, IBO, LITM, PNBK,
URG,
PNBK,
HLF,
RNAZ, Para, RNAZ,
SND, HLF,
SMCI, RNAZ, RNAZ, TSLL,
President Trump signed executive order directing
RNAZ,
agency heads to grant federal
RNAZ.
official access to agency records, data, and systems. That's from the White House.
ELAB, ELAB, HLF,
AAPD,
HLF, RNAZ,
U, U,
LITM. SMST. LITM. HLF. IBO. RNAZ.
U,
RNAZ. LITM. IBO. IBO.
FTEL,
LITM. IBO. IBO.
SLXN,
Evo.
Selexian Therapeutics, announced completion of innovative expanded
PLAB.
development plan for SIL 204, which will be unveiled at the No
PLAB.
Cancer Conference.
PLAB.
That's SLXN, San Lima X-ray November. TOMZ, Tomy Environmental, expands into agriculture with new
SOXS.
partner ALUR
U.
Feed, Tango Oscar Michael Zulu. XELB announcing a reverse stock split, X-ray Echo Lima Bravo.
RNAZ. PLAB.
GLNN Green Lane out with their results.
RNAZ. SOXS.
SLXN,
Green Lane
SMST.
reporting.
LITM. WWR.
Sales for the full
SLXN.
year ending December 31st were about 13.3 million versus about 65.4 million in the same period a year ago. That's Gulf, November, Lima, November.
RNAZ. SLXN.
Feds Goolsby says
RNAZ.
when you have a lot of uncertainty, you have to wait for things to clear up. Speaking on CNBC, says there has been a decided turn towards anxiety and waiting on capital spending among business contacts. The Fed needs to be a steady hand and take the long view on the economy. Current conditions are maybe a shock to the economy depending on how long they last.
LITM.
Markets want information fast, but that is not a realistic at this point.
RNAZ.
That's Chicago Fed's Austin Goolsby speaking on CNBC now.
Anything different always sells, as long as it's pretty practical or just super interesting.
Goolsby said there's
Those are
still a
practical,
lot of
so,
strength in the economy right
somebody
now.
should purchase them. All right, this looks like a nice pile here.
RNAZ.
Spring cleaning
RNAZ.
pile. Let's see what we can throw back here. Obviously, this stuff is rolling all around. You know, the whole 9 yards.
Goolsby said unemployment and inflation do
ALUR.
reflect progress
AAPD.
towards a dual mandate.
I don't want to
PEV.
smack anyone's car by accident. That would not be fun. I can't imagine how I've said this a handful of times. I can't imagine how many times the garbage men accidentally hit people's cars. Thought there's more stuff here. I wonder what's underneath that gray thing. I bet it's a dresser. That's a dresser. Oh no, it's a couch. A little piece of artwork there. I just looked at it. It was not. Not Van Gogh. Some oddball stuff. That had a price tag of $10 on it. Door sounds as great as it's ever sounded. You know, there's a couch on its side, and then they put like a couch protector over it. A lot of traffic on this road. I don't know what's going on here. Must be missing the fire, must be missing the party. I don't know what's going on. A lot of people going by. The tire house up here on the left looks like they also have a couch out. Let's see if there's anything else hiding in their pile. Nope, not there. Oh, here it is. Holy moly. Free, free, free. Well, might be free, but it's not for me. Don't need 3 couches that, who knows whatever happened to those couches. That is a, that's going to be tough to have someone come and find it and pick it up and take it away. On top of that, I was about to say the pile I just got that stuff from, the garbage company in this town, is very, very by the book. I don't know what $20 gets you, but $20 might get a whole pile going. But it's one bulk item a week, and that's it. They'll put a tag on it, and that's that. So those couches might be there a while. I think it's supposed to rain in 2 days. Turn to sponges. There's no way this is a Christmas tree out here. There's no way. Ah, it is. Wow. Oh, a branch for a Christmas tree. An artificial one. There's more sheetrock. Thought about that sheetrock a little bit today. The piece that I left in the trash the other episode. Actually, that episode was filmed this morning. So today's day ends up being a very long day. We're filming 2 videos and editing.
BXRT.
But a lot of stuff stays fresh in your mind. What do we got over here? Not a clue. Cards are kind of neat, but are cards trash? You probably think they're trash. Gotta be trash. What's that? All right. I could probably lift that. All right, man. I say there's a fire hydrant. I'll put you down for this one. So fire hydrants are actually worth a lot of money. Almost bought a couple of them at auctions and they went for too much. So we'll see where we land with this one. have it like upright or? It was the. Alright, well, I appreciate it. Yeah. Yep. Well, fire hydrant. Although I guess I don't know. Can you say it's a trash picking fine? If I like really just like kind of got handed to it for free, I don't know if you can call it a trash picking fine. I would call it a trash picking fine. Anyway, it's up there. I'll show you guys later. Holy, what's going on here? How you doing? Try and take your scrap metal. Taking that. Yeah. Your trash cans are falling over. Oh, okay. What's that? No, I'm taking this. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Don't fall over anymore. I tried putting them back up as best I could. Huh. As close as I can get it. They, gotta love it, right? What are the odds? Homeowner talking to you, can't understand what they're saying. Trying to take their garbage. They're yelling from across. Trash cans are falling everywhere. There's no base, so they won't stand upright. I'm like leaning it the opposite way. Then I'm picking up their garbage because it's in the road. Ah, gotta love it. It's a great thing for an introvert, I tell you what. Ah, see, now I'm on to something. I know something that I just dawned on my brain, and I don't know if I want you guys to try to figure it out, or should I just tell you? So, in the next clip, I will tell you what the deal is with the Christmas trees. So if you're with a significant other and you're trying to guess or play the guessing game, go ahead, guess away. All right, now that we're at the next clip, I really like their this person's garage door. Talking about getting new garage doors. Look at my nice fire hydrant. I stopped by my friend Dave's house, he gave me a television, some other scrap. Take this, I don't know what you use this for, maybe firewood, maybe a plant stand, maybe a newspaper rack, I don't know. But if you guessed away, if you've done guessing, the reason why there's Christmas trees out is because the garbage company doesn't take them, obviously. But that's why that same Christmas tree I just saw was literally last week as well. And they don't take them. There's a special day where they take them, usually in February and January. And well, those days have passed. So since those days have passed, they are not going to pick up your Christmas tree. Does that kind of make sense? I only know that because I remember them announcing it, not this company, but other companies that say, Christmas tree pickup, such and such, such and such. And they don't pick it up with your normal trash. So that's why they're still out there. $1 million brain, or just been trash picking enough in my life to know enough about trash things. All right, so magically I managed to hurt my back lifting that fire hydrant. Probably about I don't know, 5 minutes afterwards I started, like, I guess the adrenaline kind of wore off and my lower back is like killing me. So if you ever lift anything super heavy, always lift with your back. It's just my, I think when you deadlift, you use your lower back muscles, which is exactly what I pretty much did to it. I didn't just lift it straight with my back, because then you really would throw out your back. It just, it's tender right now. It's not really like destroyed, but yeah, you gotta be careful whenever you lift these ridiculously heavy things. I knew how heavy this was before I even picked it up, before I even saw it. I've seen them at auctions very sparingly. I think I've seen 3 of them in my total days of doing auctions and flea markets and estate sales. I've only seen 3 of them ever for sale, all being at auctions. And I can't remember what they sold for. I think minimum, probably about $75. One really rough shape might have sold for about $40. But I remember one selling for like $200, $250. This one's in really, really good shape. It has an old wood post there, which I guess is what the guy had going on. It actually has the date on it. So the date, the patent date is upside down, but it's 1898. Says it. You can see the 1898. It's 1898 is the patent on it. So it's super, super old. The guy said it came from Easton, Pennsylvania. So that's it's a really cool find, and I listened to that thing roll around the back of my van for quite some time. And the cart was really cool. I actually really liked that cart. It's one of those items, well, it's probably a 50s or 60s. It's got the old metal wheels with the rubber trim on them. Doesn't need air. It'll never go flat. It's one of those things where I think I'm going to end up probably saving it until flea market season rather than scrap. Scrap, I mean, it's probably like $2 in scrap metal. Flea market, somebody should give me $10. But we're getting closer to flea market season, so I want to be able to do that more and more often. I maybe should have taken that one piece of furniture, but the thing with the furniture is I got to store it inside so it doesn't warp. And I didn't even look at it. I just saw it briefly and was like, it's here, there, gotta go, UPS truck. So other than that, it's been fun. Thanks for tagging along, everyone, for another episode. It's been a blast. If you guys enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe down below. If you haven't checked out my trash picking playlist, now 1,040 plus episodes. Insane amount. So if you want to sit down and watch a bunch of the videos, kill some time, knock yourself out. 1,040 episodes over 8-year span. So thanks for tagging along. Catch you guys next time for next episode here at Taco Stacks. Till next time, have a great day. Keep living a dream. Peace.
We almost got there. A lot of people would have, I think, a hard time saying, okay, I'm just going to take a little bit here. It'll be fine if you put a stop, under a low or something like that. But it's when you start, making things up as you go that you tend to get into a little bit of trouble.
Well, it's always the problem, too, with mean revision. One of my favorite charts, and I should maybe bring that one time, but I think everyone's seen it, is the reasons to sell chart. And it's, a real long-term look at the SPY, and it highlights, every war or, the U.S. debt getting downgraded, and then COVID, and then this. But when you zoom out long enough, they all kind of look like blips. And the point of that chart is just saying there's always a reason to sell, and it's easy to say I'm going to do a strategy like this, which is mean reversion. I'm buying, you're buying dips, you're buying on the way down. But if you're too into the news, it gets really hard to do because there's all this news about tariff wars and this and that and the other thing. So yeah, I really like systems for this reason, especially when you're buying at those times that it's the hardest to.
What would you say, though, to someone who maybe struggles with sticking to rule sets? And I mean, I speak of myself here in this case where, it's easy after the fact to go back and say, just buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here based on the rule set. But in the moment, Sharif and I were talking about this yesterday, it's when it feels the worst, it looks the worst, it smells the worst. That's typically the time that you should be doing something.
Yeah, and this is, getting into mean reversion systems is something that's fairly new to me. I've been a trend follower for most of my existence, and it is hard. The biggest thing that I could say is that the more you understand your system, the easier it will be. That's why, at Stats Edge, we have on my website the back test going back 30 years for all the strategies that I'm currently running. And that helps me in times like these, not only for downtimes. Like, for example, this week, there's been no triggers this week. There's been absolutely nothing to do. And an old me would break rules and start to buy and trade things out of more boredom. But I think the more that you study the equity curve of your backtest, the more you can see things like what happened in 2008, what happened in the year 2000, what happened during COVID. And you can see these extreme examples and you can say, okay, you know, it was hard to do then, but if I had followed my rules, this would have been the outcome. And I just think having that data and going over that frequently and having some trust in the system that you're following, it definitely helps. But you know, it's one of those, a lot of people, they say they want to get into systematic trading like I'm getting into now to avoid emotions, but I can tell you, it doesn't avoid the emotion, it just changes the ones. It's just, you have to have more faith, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, well said. Great stuff as always. Michael Noss, have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
See you Monday.
Yeah, have a great weekend there, Michael, and see you Monday. And it'll be a different, I mean, Monday is going to be, it's a different week, it's a different time. And remember, today is a big day in the market for many, many reasons. Obviously, we're going to keep talking about it, but when you have a witching, you're going to get increased volatility at the open. This is for trading purposes, increased volume and volatility at the close as well. This is one of those, I always say this on witching, and I'll say it again. The first few minutes, it's one of those days where the first few minutes, don't mind if I'm not in position. Oops, why am I on TV still? Oh, that's right, I was looking at the Toronto. You see these ridiculous locked and cross bids because there's really no pre-market trading of any ilk in Toronto, so you see all these crazy orders going into the auction. Level 2's looking nuts. But yeah, in the first few minutes, if I don't find myself in position, willing to be very patient. If it's not at your price, like I looked over, like Tesla, you think it's crazy Tesla will retest that 230 where it's bounced 2 days in a row, 229, 230? I don't think that's crazy. Intel, which has been trending down all week, already broke its low of the day. So this is another one. Like I remember being impatient at the open on this, and if it does another pop, maybe you have to wait out the first, like, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes to be able to get the reversion that you're looking for. And especially true on a rebalance day. And so Jack Gonzalez witching is just, you have a bunch of options expirations. You've got the single stock, you've got future index options, and they're all expiring today. And then at the end of the day, probably bigger for day traders at the end of the day, you have the S&P rebalancing. So you have names that are getting added to the index, which is big. Don't get me wrong, like DoorDash is going in. That's a big deal. But sometimes the reweighting of the S&P, like Broadcom's supposed to be a very large down weight, like they're reducing the number of shares. So there's a bunch of those as well. So you get a lot of volume coming in at the close. Some of it does also get done at the open. Oh yeah, and by the way, Carnival's reporting in 20 minutes too. That's the other thing. I really hate that they don't report earlier. 9:15 is such a ridiculous time to report your earnings to me.
Yeah, Carnival is the one thing that has a chance. I mean, it's been getting hit pretty good for a while, but you know, it does have that chance. Here's what Carnival looks like on the weekly chart, right back in, right into this level. So it's got a hold right here. I would say it's going to miss, but we've already talked about how everything I feel like right now is going to be a problem. Underneath the 200 period for CCL, we'll see. I mean, we keep on hearing that cruise lines are fully or close to fully booked here for 2025. We'll hear that story very, very soon. Yeah, it's nice to have Michael on there. A couple good ideas right there. Yeah, we'll talk to him next week and see if anything has changed, because it is a volatile market. And yeah, I mean, buying the dips works until you run out of money, right? So, all right, what's up, Adara?
Very stacked list here for upgrades and downgrades as we head into the final trading day of the week. Adobe here with an upgrade from KeyBank Capital Management about a week after their earnings report. We have AutoZone getting upgraded by D.A. Davidson. Norwegian Cruise Line here with an upgrade from Morgan Stanley. Again, we're going to have these cruise lines on watch with Carnival earnings coming up. Last but not least, an interesting one here, Supermicro getting upgraded to neutral by J.P. Morgan Chase. You can read more about this note on our Trader TV Live watch list. But basically, they said now that the SEC filings are out of the way, they're seeing some potential for the stock. Pinduoduo leading the downgrade side of things here with a downgrade from Nomura one day after their earnings report. Another earnings downgrade here from FedEx by Loop Capital. Nike here at the bottom also getting downgraded by Needham after their report. And last but not least, TELUS here getting downgraded by BofA Securities. Really interesting list today, guys.
Yeah, well, so I know Sharif said it in the beginning, and he corrected himself, but he was right. Supermicro got an upgrade today. And the interesting thing is, maybe not a stock that you would expect to be holding
UVXY.
support right now, but it absolutely is. This is one I've got, well, probably not for good reasons, on watch, as you can see. It's kind of got a trend line here, post that split, the recent bottom we had in November when the worst of the news was hitting. And it has broken before, although it ended up being a very good reversal after it broke the last time. Not that you would have, you took the break, like for a couple of days you're in the money. But this is looking like a stock which is just riding the 50 and also riding a trend going all the way back to November. Like if this breaks down, you know, into here, underneath the 38, it still looks like a good opportunity for some shorts to start winning on it. That said, you know, today, it's maybe not going to be a day trade unless you get to that 38 and maybe look for some kind of a bounce off one of those even dollar levels. But it's sitting on the precipice, SMCI, of a big trend line. And if it gets underneath that, then I would just start looking short like every day while it's underneath that 38.
You know, a name that could actually, if the market actually goes today, I mean, we could get Boeing. We talked about this the other day. Nice move off of Wednesday's.
VXX.
Like from 162 up there to 172. It just looks like right now this could break long. If it, you know, it's trying to hold out here, like 170. If we get a dip into 170 there for Boeing, you know, again, good, like, there's not too many stocks that have this kind of a trajectory right now. And remember, someone in the chat said something pretty important, and they were like, you can also dollar cost average on the way up. You know, like, we don't need to be sitting here catching all of these falling knives. Like, so this would be a stock here where it's actually going to the upside. Maybe if we fall back in here, you can catch a good story on a downswing. So this would be the idea of averaging up right here today.
UVXY.
Obviously, we're just talking about, all of us here are flat at the end of every single day. We trade equity, so it's like we have to be flat. We're on a prop floor. But like this would be something where if it drops in here off the open, and I know Boeing's a risky stock. It's down today, fine. But this is another name that's working. At least we're now looking at a name that's been working and trying to catch something. So 170 there, and then what about a 174 break if the market decides not to make that move down and decides to go upside? Then you can use that using maybe even the 200 period. So it's like $2 worth of risk both ways here. You're at 172 there. I like the 170 long or the 174 break long. So that's either a dip buy or a break. I'd prefer this because then we can just get out. We can just tell ourselves, okay, it's $2 worth of risk. So you buy 170, you get down to 168, you punch out. The reason why you give yourself $2 is because 172 is going to be where the 200 and the 50 period are. So if you get back up to there, great. That's the target. If you drop $2, great, you get out. And the last example would not be great, but you would get out. So there it is, man. We can have just a quick look before we go back and do the watch list. This is what's going on in the imbalances today. It's nothing huge at all. So we're not seeing like big market imbalances yet. And I don't think we will for some reason. They may just come in the afternoon. We'll wait to see what NASDAQ hits because right now it's just NYSE. So yeah, that's a couple looks on a couple names there. I like it. People still saying Nike. Nike's the sticky note is out. This is the #1 name on the sticky note to get short. But unfortunately, again, we had written down 69 where the 200 period moving average is. We could see if this comes back up there. We may just have to smack this thing right off the open, man. I mean, I'll fix this candle, but this is a nice move down right there. We just dropped 50 cents, like boom. So Nike going to be a problem here today, that is for sure. I'm sure it's on our watch list, so let's go back over to the desk.
13. That's where we close out yesterday on the ES June contract. Now we're really bleeding here. We already lost 5,700. We're at the low right now. So the deal is we're going to look to that 5650 area. We defended it back on the 18th and again on the 19th. If we defend it again today, it'll be a good support level. If we lose 5650, then we're looking to that 5600 area. If we defend 5650, we're using 5,700 as resistance.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second. Grab the watch list. Absolutely free every single day. The link is in the description. Top link, in fact, in the description. We'll get you to the sign-up page, and then you just need your email address. Yeah, Nike pushing lower here in a hurry. Just at 8% there. A bit of a bounce right now, but 66.25-ish coming into play here. Down better part, of 8% at this point. Forecast not good. They're warning of lower sales once again going forward after a nice move higher initially, if we're saying.
Yeah, it looks like it was probably the call and the guidance here that sent everything down, Brendo. So Nike expects double-digit sales decline in fiscal Q4. Analysts were predicting about 11.4%, so towards the higher end of the guide there. Gross margins are projected to drop between 4 to 5 percentage points as a result of excess liquidity and inventory. Economic uncertainty as well, Brendo. Tariffs, foreign exchange, volatility, weak consumer confidence, all playing a part in this. Now, with respect to how they beat or Q3 earnings beat expectations, they printed better EPS than what the street was looking for, 54. The street was looking for 29 pennies. Revenue was 11, a little bit more than 11 and a quarter, exceeding the 11 the street was looking for. Net income, though, fell 32% year over year, and gross margins continue to decline. Some of the areas where they're seeing pressure: North America fell 4%, China 17% drop, and direct to consumer, one of their most coveted areas, dropped 12%, with wholesale also dropping 7%. New CEO Elliott Hill aims to revive innovation and strengthen wholesale partnerships. With increased competition in China, he'll be looking to take advantage of some of these newer products that they're putting out there, the Pegasus Premium and the Romero 18.
That D2C area is so competitive.
Absolutely.
Right now. I mean, I heard you guys talking yesterday about, the Gymsharks of the world, like this, absolutely dominating that area right now. So, yeah, not a lot of positivity. There's a long list of analyst moves here to the downside as well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. We're talking about the range that Micron was in, and it's like maybe this is a chance yesterday to get out of it, and obviously that didn't happen. So I guess we're headed right back to, maybe not today, but that 85. Like we said yesterday, like I almost wanted it to be bad enough that you could get that back into 85, so there would be a trade on Friday. 'Cause I feel like it would have been really hard to break that level today. That said, can't really be thinking about that 85. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah, my brain's on Micron, guys. Sorry. Yeah, my brain's all over Micron, but we'll go Nike. I really like the 85 on Micron. No, for Nike, I mean, Sean already said it. It's a flat bottom break on Nike. And I think if you get back to 69, I wouldn't want it. That's sort of the play, because it's almost going to be SSR and down 10%. And it flat bottom broke. Try to say, there weren't any nice things to say about it when we were asked about it last night. But at the end of the day, I think you start to look at VWAP because it's respecting VWAP. Intel did something like this the other day where it was already trending down, so the only play ended up being the volume-weighted average price. It's so far removed from the flat bottom break here that it's hard to look at the short and want to hit some lows. But VWAP is always a good place to start. And, I spoiled my thoughts on Micron, because I'm buying that thing at 85 if it ever sees there.
85. Oh, 85.
No, we were talking about that yesterday.
Not
like
today.
Micron,
Yeah.
I think it gets there probably in the next week or two, but...
Okay, there we go. So there's a call. There we go.
We said that yesterday. It's not a new thing.
No, I'm saying that's good. That's a good call. I like that one. So we'll watch out for Micron in the next couple of weeks. For Nike right now, look, man, it's the #1 idea on the sticky note today, but it's already starting. So we're going to probably have to hit this immediately. We're going to have to look at the pre-market low, whatever it is, and see if it holds, and if it doesn't, smash it to the downside. I mean, Nike's been pretty bad for a long time, and it just keeps on getting worse. I feel like this is a kitchen sink quarter. What I mean by that is they've just thrown everything out, and now we'll wait to see if they can beat or exceed their low expectations for this next quarter. I'm not sure they can. This is 68.62. That was the past 52-week low. That's where I'm trying to play off of, but I don't, again, you make the call in the morning at some levels, and it may not come into fruition again. So we were at $67, thinking 69 or that 68.60 level would be something that could we see today. I still think we can. You could get a nice little bounce here. It's not going to be an SSR bounce until we get down to that SSR level, which I guess would be around 64 and change. Once we get down into there, then you could see a bounce, and if that bounce does happen, then I want to short. So, on earnings, we say when there's a gap, you play to VWAP. So right there, $67, I'm thinking is the right play. So I don't know, man. The only long that I have on the sticky note is Tesla. So we'll wait to see what's going on right there. Some people asking me about Palantir on the chat, on my email, on my Twitter today as well. Happy Friday. There it is, Tesla long. Oh, actually, I have Micron long at 98, which we're going to get to in a minute. And then I have the TQ short, and then I have NVIDIA if we get down to 114. But right now, to start the day, it'll be Nike and the market looking long, looking short, sorry, to start the day. And then we'll talk about Micron in a minute. We'll look at long 98, but, you know, my feeling is it's probably already there, yeah. So this will already come in. This is going to be a very, very interesting morning. 20 more minutes until we get some good price movement, but as Neil said, this might be a one where you let the first minute or two settle down, which I've been doing anyways pretty much lately. For Nike, maybe a different story, but for some of these other names, I'm interested to hear why Micron's down. So let's go hear from the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. A lot of positivity as far as this report is concerned. The forecast itself, there was portions of the forecast that were a little bit questionable, but otherwise, numbers actually not bad here.
Not bad at all. I'll get to that point in a second, Breno. Great point. EPS, how they did on earnings. So the actual current earnings. EPS 156, beating the 143, a handy beat there. Revenue 8.05 billion. Easily beating the 7.9 the street was looking for. With respect to guidance, EPS, Q3 EPS guidance at the midpoint, 1.57, above the analyst expectations of 1.52. With respect to revenue guidance, 8.8 billion at the midpoint. That exceeds the 8.5 billion the street was looking for, and that's an increase of 51% year over year. Now let's get to why the stock's actually moving down. So historically, memory stocks have steep revenue cycles with rapid fluctuations in growth. Some investors are concerned about another potential downturn. In other words, it's very cyclical. They do well, and then the demand dries up. Some people are positing, though, that AI-driven demand for high bandwidth memory could create a more sustained growth cycle, and we don't have to do these upswings and downswings in the price.
Yeah, bouncing off lows, or trying to at least right now, guys, for MU. That's a huge reversal, though, for this stock.
Ridiculous. Yeah, you know what? And the other thing, too, is like Micron also, it just sold where it's been selling since not October, August of last year. Like, since the beginning of August, anytime it's gotten to like the 110 area, there's just been, it's like wick selling and then the support at 85. You know what I was getting to with the 85 level is anytime it's traded, because if you look at it, it's traded very briefly under 85 several times.
My marathon is for the Christopher and Dana Reef Foundation and improving the quality of life for those who are impacted by paralysis.
So if it does that again, where it gets down there and then closes above 85, I like looking at it like,
what would you like the power to do?
I'm going to look to buy it at that level.
Love bold flavor, but want a lighter bite?
Today,
Penn Station East Coast Subs new 9 grain bread
I'll do the
delivers.
knock on wood
now
thing,
your
but it's
favorite
not
subs like the Italian Reuben and turkey
Ready?
bacon ranch.
If Micron gets to 85 today, we got bigger fish to fry.
Try one today, only
like
at Penn Station East Coast Subs.
I heard 85, but you mentioned, that's what I was thinking.
Well, 95 could happen because 95 is local support on Micron. And when I say local support, I just sort of mean like, you know, closer to where we are right now. You know, it's not today's support or anything like that, but 95 is a bit of a level because it wasn't a bad report. And again, you can go into, look, you can read any report and probably try to explain why it didn't move because you can always find something, right? But I'm not going to pretend to have been able to do that with Micron because I couldn't. And I would just say if it gets down into where the prior support has been, this is actually more like 94. Did I write 95 on my iPad? Yeah, I did write 94. Never mind. When I'm saying 95, I think I must have had the 85 in my mind. No, it is 94 that local support is at. It's not impossible that it gets down there on Micron, but this isn't the name I'm looking short in chips. I feel like Intel first. You said we're not going to get a chance to talk about Palantir, but when you mentioned it, I was short Palantir yesterday, and it was just a simple mean reversion play, but there was another thing going on here with, whoops, I just typed PayPal. There was another thing going on with Palantir, and that's every time it's gotten above $88 and the 50-period moving average recently, it's just kind of curled and faded early on in the day. And it did this again. So I feel like if this one presses up, as long as it doesn't break 90, like let it get in there. And if it's above or around that 89 level, look for the mean revert. But that's on the off chance that it actually pops into that range. Like right now, when you sit down, it's at 87. It looks like it could happen. Now it's breaking 86, and maybe you don't get that pop. But this is the name I'm looking for a pop and fade on. But Micron, unless it gets to 94, I don't think I'm doing anything today.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote down just to try to get something there at 98. 98's been the bottom there, and it just, well, I mean, it's going to come through now. So just looking, I'm not even really sure what levels are going to hold here, but this was 98. So it's just amazing that you had that bump up to 110, which was those key levels, and then this happened. It's clear that nobody can figure out why this thing's even down, which makes me worry that, you know, there's obviously is some problems here. Analysts must not have liked that call at all. And if you don't hold this gapped up level there, like this is a gap, right? 98 all the way that day to 102, fading off a little bit back to 99 and then goes. So we need to see this area hold, because 98 doesn't hold, then whoops, then there's that 95 level that I was talking about. So this is what I'm thinking, you know, worth the shot, but it's not worth holding for $3, because if it comes into 98, I don't think today it's going to have the juice to get back to 101, which would be that risk to reward 1-to-1. That's kind of the decisions I try to make. We do like your retracement back up to the 200 period. This is just a 5-minute chart. If you're looking at a 1-minute chart, I mean, that's, again, that 101 area, that's where I think you short it. It's just, are we going to get that pop? Look, I don't know why Micron's down. If I'm going to buy, I don't even know that much about DRAM. I'm not going to pretend that I even want to buy Micron. I don't. The only name in this space that I would buy would be, and I didn't even realize I had AMD. I have AMD in my account. Thankfully, we're long. I mean,
you would have. I
think we're still in the money, like 70% on AMD or something, which is crazy. I didn't even realize I had it. I was looking at my portfolio.
I was mad at myself that I hadn't sold it.
I think I had like 1 or 2%. Oh, I wish I had known I had it, because I've been calling this thing
silly,
dead since 200.
Well, I've been saying, and this is one of the things in your long-term plan. Just because you buy something a really long time ago and you are up a lot on it doesn't necessarily mean you want to still be holding it, because I've done that and looked back and been like, what am I still doing?
I don't think anybody got out of the tops of that.
No, but it's like I don't even.
I know. I didn't even realize I had it.
Since 2023, everyone's liked NVIDIA more. So why didn't in that much feel like, whatever, I'll just sell AMD at that point, because even though it's in the money, and I admit I want to do a better job of that in my personal account, because when you buy things 10, 15 years ago, sometimes something has distinctly changed and you should be selling it. You know, like with the bags. Like
this is why I just want to buy indexes, man, because I already have so many stocks.
I'm heavy index already.
I have Pfizer, I have AMD, I have NVIDIA. I mean, name another stock, Home Depot, Apple. Like, I have these all, Uber, Roblox, Disney.
Do you have a quantum stock, though?
No. I have the best quantum stock of all
Google.
time.
Alphabet. Sorry, Alphabet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I don't have any of these quantum names. Let's go find out about these runners.
Yeah, back downside here a little bit so far this morning. I mean, the overall market is as well. But surprisingly, Jensen comes out yesterday and says, my bad, essentially causing that huge move down in this whole group, going back to the beginning of the year where he said nothing is going to come from this. And I mean, let's be honest, it's probably not. It's like, let's say 5 years. I think 5 years is maybe fair.
Fair? It's a science experiment.
Yeah.
You and I were just talking about this off camera. It's a science experiment until some money starts coming in. All right, NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang corrected his January statement where he doubted quantum computing's viability within 15 years. Yesterday at Quantum Day, he admitted his comments were misinterpreted and drew comparisons actually to NVIDIA's early struggles. He was kind of surprised that his remarks actually impacted these quantum stocks and joked about how some quantum firms are being publicly traded. Now, yesterday he did have the GTC Quantum Day. He hosted panels with 12 different quantum computing firms. Microsoft and Amazon did take part.
You're going to find out why
their goal here is to integrate GPUs with quantum chips. They don't want to use them in isolation. And he did announce plans, Brendo, yesterday for a Boston research center to foster collaboration with Harvard and MIT. Let's see how that all works out.
Yeah, if you zoom out to the daily chart, we're downside 2 or 3 days in a row here for this time
frames. That way, if you don't have time to
some
be in front
support
of the
though.
chart, you're at least going to get to also
I just looked at the account. I'll just tell you how bad of an investor I am.
I can't wait to see you guys
62.6% on AMD. Like, that's horrible. Like, that means I was up like 400% or something when it was at 20 bucks, when it was at 220 or whatever it was. I'm just so horrible at most things. All right, so
time
I
for
don't know,
an
did you
outdoor
have a play on
upgrade?
quantum today?
QBTS, I mean, it's only down 7%, but remember, it was down I don't know, 21, 22% yesterday, so it is going to be short sell restricted. And yesterday I was looking for the reversion off this 750 area, only because this is where it jammed last week when I was gone. It was right off of that 750. So this would be like a mean reversion. If it gets there, look for the reversion play off of 750. If it just goes down and is trending down and never breaks the trend at 750, then there's just not going to be a trade down there. As far as I even put in the note, well, when it was sitting here at about 830, 840, thinking, yeah, I could fade it into like 875 or something, like that high from yesterday. That's now 10% up. And I feel like if there's that big of a move off of the open, Intel's going to come into play, and Palantir is probably going to come into play at that 89. So I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but I'll have it on the back burner. I'm just looking at SSR bounce play on these, because I feel like when they do, like when a stock like this, when it catches a bit of a bottom, like a wick bottom like that and a trend reverse, it's generally pretty good. Like it did it yesterday into VWAP, and let's say you're getting in right about here, like 970. It eventually gets to VWAP at 1020 and then even breaks it out a little bit. So yeah, that's all I'm looking for on QBTS. And 750, actually that was the level, the first time I looked at it on the daily was because Michael mentioned it in the aftermarket show. And it's just the high from February, like the February high. And it also had a bit of a breakout there last week. So yeah, we'll see what happens there, if it gets there.
I think there's going to be a huge whoosh off the open maybe. Okay, so I'll look at Rigetti because Neil just looked at QBTS. But yeah, it's the same level. It's 750. It's right here. If it comes in off the open, which it probably will, back into this level, you're going to, again, you have a wick down to 670. But at the end of the day, there's 750, there's 730, 725. Like, I think if you buy 750s, you give it 50 cents. I think that makes a lot of sense on these names. This is not, you don't want to trade the quantum names and just punch out for a 10-cent loss or anything like that. These things have huge moves. Just like this. This is one candle right there, 920 up to 950, back down to 920 again. Anything could hit at any time. And you just want to try to respect some of the levels that you have. Like yesterday's 200 period moving average, right? We didn't break it at all. Only this one little spot there. Maybe that's when they were, I don't know, on stage. I have no idea. But there was a nice move right there, and it only got back up to pre-market highs before fading out again. So even if you shorted there at 960, you only had to give it 20 cents, and it didn't even hurt you. And then it dropped off of that level, $1.30 or whatever, or buck actually to the bottom. So yeah, there's your 200 period. If you're looking to short pops, that's it there at 860. If you're going to, again, use the 200 period, you might want to look for another level that might give you some indication that would get to be $9. So again, I think 40, 50 cents worth of risk there for Rigetti, but this is going the other way right now. It's starting to make a move higher right now. So maybe that 750 is going to be a bottom or $8, something like that. It's bouncing off of 815 right now. Market kind of not bouncing, and Rigetti nicely done there. The other name is IonQ. Should be a big one. It's been up. Look, all these stocks as a percentage have been much higher than where they are now. This one's cut in half, almost two-thirds down there, and this is at a level where you could actually, as Michael was talking about it, if you've back tested, and again, the thing is 200 period on these quantum names, this is such a new space, right? So I don't know if it's actually going to hold this, but nothing wrong with thinking about $20. That's right where the 200 period moving average is. And then you don't want to, not for a day trade, you don't want to give this thing $2, but that bottom's 18. So that also matches with that top that once we broke it, we took off to 55. So I would say, like, to me, again, dollar cost average till you're broke. But at the end of the day, if you go long here at 20, I think you can safely exit around 17.50, which is a hit, of course, be 15% or so. But that might be worth the risk if you're taking a little bit of risk with some of these quantum plays. So IonQ, the one technically at a level that I think can be supported down there near 17.50, maybe worth a shot there at 20 for the risk trade.
Talk some China ADRs here. Downside for the most part across the board for all of these. Worth noting PDD and IO both out with earnings reports. PDD not really doing a heck of a lot here. NEO, though, a little bit more active as far as volume goes anyways. This is a $4.50 stock at this point. Both, however, not great.
And NEO's kind of, you feel it hasn't really participated in the strength with some of these Chinese names at all.
At all.
Like XPEV's been moving up. We saw BYD, Baba has been breaking out to no end. So it's been good strength in Chinese world, Chinese ADR world, but not for NIO, guys. So fourth quarter net loss unexpectedly widened as higher cost outpaced sales growth after the car maker launched 2 sub-brands last year amid intensifying competition in China as well. Obviously, the net loss widened to about 7.13 billion yuan, equivalent to about almost $1 billion. So keep an eye out on that. The result missed consensus estimates of 4.63 billion yuan loss on revenue of 22.22 billion.
Yeah, even the e-commerce names downside here. Alibaba actually among the worst, 2% right now, guys, almost back to day lows.
Well, all roads lead to 420. And if NIO gets to 420, it's SSR and down 10%. So, but also NIO, we've been saying this for a while, like whatever, you can say whatever you want. Somebody else is buying NIO at 4 to 420. So if it gets down there today, why wouldn't you look there for a bit of a bounce? I mean, like sometimes you go and you're like, well, what's support and resistance look like? And then other times you're like, well, you just show an example of a chart like this. And yeah, there's a little bit of barcoding in there and it doesn't look like much, but it's a $4 stock. This gets down into 420. I don't think it's asking too much that you could get one of those nice little bounces and maybe get into like a 440 or whatever it might be. So NIO downside, that's the only one of the Chinese names that I looked at today because they reported. And even when it got to 5, we're like, hey man, the four level's been good. So 4 to 420, it gets down there, look for a bounce play on NIO. And again, this has nothing to do with like long-term or anything like that. And CCL is out and doing its dance, by the way. They did beat on earnings.
Yeah, I just put it out on Twitter there. If you come over to my Twitter, Carnival adjusted earnings 13 cents, beats 2 cents. Sales of 5.81 billion, beating 5.7 billion. But CCL just taking the,
escalator down.
Not that the ship is sinking, because CCL's been pretty good, but I mean, all of these names just continue to get beat up. So we'll wait to see volume coming in there. Initial move higher, this move now lower. Yeah, just sell Alibaba. I mean, I don't know. If, like every other market right now, the MSCI All World is up on the year. The S&P is down. China's up. Brazil's up 19% or something. Joe and I went over this yesterday. We went over a couple of the different markets in the recap show. The U.S. is pretty much the only down market. Canada's hovering around flat for the year. Mexico's up as well. So I just feel that there's going to be some regression and some reverting back to the mean here. And that mean is always looking like the 50-period moving average. That's kind of why I have it up there. So I don't know if we're getting back to 120 or anytime soon, but it would not surprise me at all if we've seen the top right now for Alibaba on just for now. Like 145, DeepSeek, all this is already in. So I don't, we priced that all in. Those were the moves higher. Now, if AI is a flop, like you're sort of seeing some of these U.S. companies come to the downside, guess whose turn it is next? It's yours, Alibaba. There's that video with a sell early. So again, I feel like today's witching day might be a nothing burger. These are very, very small numbers, right? NVIDIA, 2 million shares. Apple, just 1 million. But look what it's doing to the stock. Whoops, down 60 cents right there on Apple. Intel was the #1 stock yesterday. That was a short. It looks like it's a sell again. Apple, whoops, down to 209 again. Intel, I could just imagine, 23.50. Geez, yesterday we were short at 24.25. That was the big trade of the day yesterday. Broadcom, we had indicated that's also a net sell coming in as well at the end of the day. So, yeah, man, you're starting to get pretty low here. There's Google with a sell. That wicked down to 160 right there. That might give us a bottom to play off of later on, but it's not good. There's Palantir with a sell. Look, this market, what's up to Corey in the chat? He or she's like, I'm not sure why Sean's not going more crazy with this market down. It's because this is what I'm expecting, man. I haven't bought anything in a while. I think this next earnings season is going to be horrendous. I might not dollar cost average anything until JP Morgan reports April 11th. I might just flatten that trade today and wait. I'm getting pretty negative here on the market, so I will not be buying too many of these names. But hey, that might mean I just signaled the bottom.
Yeah, with 3 minutes to go, there are some big imbalances in Toronto, but unless you're trading Toronto off the open, like regularly speaking, you probably want to stay away from them. But if you do see an imbalance on a Toronto stock like a TD or something in New York, just remember it could be the other way in Toronto. That's going to be a big thing. So at the Open, as you said just a couple of minutes ago, QBTS, Rigetti, I mean, QBTS is actually a sell of 500,000 as well, but it barely even moved, kind of a little bit to the downside. It might have a chance to get up to that 870 to 875 area for that bit of a fade. So with the Open, if we do get a pop, there's that. Palantir, I don't know. Palantir is just so far away from that 88 level. I don't know if we get the same break above 88, take the fail break. Yesterday, the trade was just a trail out that we wanted to grab. And, of course, we'll be watching some Tesla 230 as well, and Intel at VWAP. But let's go back to the desk.
Yeah, real quick. FedEx just made a new low. I just actually went out on a higher time frame and tried to find the last time this thing was SSR. Got to go 2 quarters back. So not the last earnings, but the one before that. It was 15% after they reported.
A bit of a tougher look today, Brenda. Let's talk about what's going on. So FedEx revised its profit and revenue forecast downward due to persistent soft demand. CFO John Dietrich cited weakness in the U.S. industrial economy as a key challenge. They did adjust their full-year financial forecast, so full-year adjusted profit now expected between $18.60 a share, down from $19 to $20 a share. Revenue as well for the fiscal year ending in May is going to be flat or slightly down, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Q3 adjusted profit is going to be down to $4.51. Now, the reason all this is going on is apparently FedEx and UPS, kind of not surprised by this, are engaged in a fierce market share battle, raising concerns over pricing pressure. Apparently, FedEx ended its air cargo contract with USPS. UPS picked that up, and then FedEx announced its cost-cutting plans of about $2.2 billion, and apparently they're going to pick up 8 new Boeing 777s at a really good price from Boeing.
Can't all be bad.
Nope.
If you're buying or leasing planes, I'm sure they lease them. There it is. Yep. SSR right now, guys, for FedEx.
Yeah, I mean, probably won't trade FedEx. CMMD. I know it's down 10%, but that's not the kind of stock I want to try for an SSR play anyways. But sometimes it's a bellwether for what's going on, and if FedEx is getting hit, it's not usually a good thing for the overall economy, and this sucker is trending down. So there was a bounce in a few names. We only have 30 seconds to go till the Open here. There was a little bounce as a few of those imbalances got smaller. NVIDIA just popped up. Couple of bucks. I don't think we'll see 120 there. Going to have Tesla on the watch, QBTS, Nike, Intel going to be in play. We'll see about it, but this is the triple witching bell to end the week, Adara. So should be wild off the Open. Remember, extra volume, extra volatility on an Open like this. So ring it in 3, 2, and 1. Let's go.
MNSO.
Should be exciting. All right, so we'll wait to see what winds up happening here earlier on. I'm watching Micron. There it goes. Whoops. Right down there to the downside. We're also going to watch out for Nike as well here early. All right, so Nike actually not open yet. Probably better to wait for that. It just bounced off 65.80. We'll give Nike a chance here as well. Tesla, we'll give them a chance here for Tesla. Charts, there we go. All right, nice move up for Tesla there. So we wrote down Tesla 234 long in the pre-market. We'll have to wait to see if that comes through again. So we'll bid that. That looks like a decent level right there. It just was too early. Oh, man, did we nail that 234? Wow. Okay, well, if it comes back, we'll have to take that level again. So 234, that was what we were looking for. We're not in it, obviously, and you'd see me in it, but there's a nice little rally off the Open. So here we go, man. Nice move higher there for Tesla. The name we wanted long, the price we wrote down was good, but it's a pre-market level. So there it goes, man. Straight up to the upside. Tesla really ramping up. Congratulations there. Tesla flying right now to that upside, man. Wow. Cannot hold this stock down, apparently. Tesla, monster move up to 240. Here we go. Wow. Tesla motoring, man.
This is insane price action.
Yep. And NVIDIA as well. Nice move to the upside.
Nothing like Tesla.
No. Tesla. I mean, look, we wrote down 234, guys. I mean, it is what it is. But that's that stock is now gone. 118 for NVIDIA just held.
Well, it's easy to see when Tesla's going, it's like, oh, is anything coming into the levels I like for pop and fade? They're not. Like Palantir's nowhere close to the top. Intel's nowhere close to. I mean, it's not even breathing on 24 at this point. CDT. So yeah, you're getting a little bit of pop. I wonder if Micron's making its way up. Nope. Micron actually might see this 94, 95 area. It's at 96 already. Micron's falling like a rock.
Okay, we're already $1 in the money right now. We shorted Tesla, so let's wait to see what winds up happening. 240, we're short right now. Big position.
IBO.
Let's just see, man. I got to just breathe a little bit here. There it is. Okay, nice move here to the downside for
BRPX.
Tesla. So we're actually just trying to get out of some of this now. Ooh, that was good, man. That just went down. It could still. What's up, Fabian?
LEN.
No problem, my guy. There it is, man. So there's Tesla, man. We just shorted there at 240 twice. Out right there, 238.60, 238.50. We're gonna get. It's gonna stop out. If this breaks 240, we are out of that one, and then we'll say thank God we took a little bit of profit. But there goes Tesla. Oh no. Okay. Well, yeah.
BRPX.
If it breaks 240, we're out. So I'm gonna. This is looking like, oh my gosh. This is what option expiration is all about, really, right now.
Yeah, this
is like you're seeing tons of movement here, tons of volatility, some little bit of uncertainty on some of the levels, but we're not uncertain about the short right now. It's now $1 in the money as we try to break. Well, it just held 230. There it goes. Now it's more than that, Neil. Now we're $1 and change now as we get down to the downside. So let's see how far we can go there. Volume weighted average price could be a bouncing spot there. 238. Let's put a bid down there. But so far, so good here for Tesla.
Yeah, great look on Tesla. Micron's now through 95 and headed toward that 94. So it's falling like a rock. At the same time, QBTS, I haven't looked at Rigetti, but I'm going to assume it's trying to go green as well. But it's streaking into that 875 area that we're looking for, the curl. So those are the two things I'm watching.
There it goes.
Intel's nowhere close to 24 bucks. So it's 875, looking for a reversion on QBTS, and then Micron as well. So those are the two level twos I'm kind of cued in.
What was the low
cued in on? Right now it's 94.30.
40s, yeah.
30 or 40. So let me get a stop in first. I always want to have a stop if I'm trading it on a witching day. Have your stop before it gets in there, and then look for this to close at or above this 94 half level, and on the 3-minute bar. Hopefully avert some of this move and take the first shot. VWAP's at 97, so there's plenty of room to VWAP, but if it can't close above 94 half, at this point, I don't want to catch that falling knife. Intel's starting to go up, so keep in mind if Intel gets to 24, I want to start working into the long. Don't want to get too early on it. Yeah, now Micron's starting to look like there's a bit of a bid under it.
All right, yeah, we're long Micron. So let's see what ends up happening on that one. So Tesla we actually wind up exactly flat on Tesla, which is too bad because it did have that chance to go. We're just lucky. Lucky, I don't know, but we were able to get all of these out as it was going absolutely insane. Right there, up and down, trying to figure out the right price levels for Tesla. Up 2% today with a market that's down 1%. So, when there's blood in the street and everybody's talking so negatively about certain names, maybe there is a case there for Tesla long, right? So here comes Micron straight in. We talked about being long this name, so we'll wait to see now. Okay, there it goes. It's going to break through 9.
Got stopped.
Yep, exactly. So stop out over there. I got stopped out on Tesla and about to get stopped out here on a 94 break for Micron. So, yeah, the longs today, man.
Oh, no, it didn't break 94.
No, it did not. So right now we'll wait to see, but it is resisting that 94 break, as Neil just mentioned. I'm waiting for that level to break.
Oh, I know why.
If it does, then we'll get stopped out. So we're going to try to hold on to this one just a little bit more. Now, of course, Tesla's making that move back in, and I just say of course, but it's just 5 minutes in. We knew we'd have to get some settling down here in the market. It's too bad that Tesla made the move now, but at the end of the day, that goes up to 240, 150. So our out was pretty fine there. I'm okay with it. We'll just have to wait now to see what's going on. But there goes Tesla, man, back into the downside. We probably should have held on to that. But for right now, it's just Micron. We like the 95 level. It's there and lower right now. So we're in this name. Let's go see. Come on, Micron. Make my day, baby. Let's get back up to the upside now for MU.
Yeah, MU brings to break that 95. It didn't break 94. I threw my stop and said I was stopped out. Looked back at it because I was trying to get into Intel and realized it didn't break. So just a bit of a keystroke error. It just tagged 95 and did an over-under. You can't even see these levels because of how big the wicks are. But it just tagged the prior bar high and came back underneath. So I took some out there at 95. I'm offering 95 quarter. I think VWAP is the target here because we are absolutely trending down. Intel, I was about to pull the trigger, then realized this is what you did yesterday, Neil, which was get into Intel a little bit too early. Either let it confirm that we're losing VWAP or let it get back into the actual highs up there. That's what it's all about on INTC. And patience paid, but I'd rather not start the day red on Intel to try to get green. It's witching day. allow the first 10, 15 minutes to get in, and then worry about it. Micron working so far. NVIDIA is absolutely, I mean, everything is, a lot of things are going to the downside right now. But NVIDIA just broke through the lows, is continuing to head to the downside. So I don't wonder if that doesn't mean, you never know, like could that avert the Micron move and bounce a little bit there? It just tagged that 95 quarter. VWAP sits at 96 half. I'm going to take another leg out in front of that and then try to hold for that pre-market low, which would be the next leg up. Micron's not SSR, but the characteristics are still kind of like an SSR bounce.
Yeah, I mean, we're fine. We're now flat on the day. I mean, Micron is hopefully going to be that name here today for me. So let's wait to see what winds up happening here with Micron. We made back our Tesla losses, but we just got some out. Our best out rate there was 95.34s. So hopefully it can get going just a little bit more than that, and we will be all good on that front. So far, so good. On Micron, so let's wait to see if that bumps. All right, what else are we looking at here, guys? What else is moving around? All right.
SMCI, apparently.
SMCI, okay.
I'm just seeing it in the chat.
Yeah, we can definitely have a look over there at SMCI. All right, so I was just going to check over at NVIDIA quickly, but SMCI, let's have a quick look. The other names I wrote down was, we should probably look at Nike, Tesla 234, that's not coming in, and then the TQQs as well. So yeah, just hearing that NVIDIA is seeing the session lows, and so is Supermicro. Supermicro looks like it wants to bounce off 39. I'm more comfortable, okay, I was going to say I'm obviously more comfortable trading NVIDIA, as you guys see me trading that literally all of the time. So we'll wait to see now. I wrote down 114.50 for NVIDIA. If it gets there, great. But I just, I have a big position on in Micron. So we're going to wait to see what winds up happening here. MU is on my mind right now.
Did you mention Nike's almost 10% now?
No, I wanted to look at it, but I knew it did bounce back to like 68.
Okay, so Nike is also... Nike could get SSR as well, but it's still a flat bottom break. There was no pop yet to try to fade. Gonna go back over and show you. Micron is starting to press the 95 area at least. So I don't want to change the plan, but remember, VWAP is a moving target, so if it holds down here, VWAP moves as well, and I do want to respect the volume-weighted average price. Palantir was another one we thought would pop and fade. It's only heading to the downside. If we continue trend down, I did want to be short this off those highs, but sometimes you just got to look at previous day low or support to turn into resistance at 86. So we're going to work off a different level on Palantir because the market didn't pop for you to get any kind of a fade in that stock. So still just with Micron and people saying what's wrong with Tesla. Randy Singh said, what's wrong with Tesla? I don't know. It's like there's no stock that's...
I should be shorted.
It's the only stock that's up right now, but it's actually making its reversion too. I think it's a short thesis, and outside of catching a dead cat bounce, which is what I think Micron is, I'm trying to get into some shorts that we
Tesla.
like. So Intel, no short yet. It's so tempting to get in early on this thing. So tempting.
Oh, man. We could have had quite a day here, but unfortunately we had dropped out. Well, we're still up today. We took a big position on Micron, so let's wait to see what winds up happening here. I'm just going to try to sit in this one. Yesterday we traded 3 names. It was a big day. Let's see if we can just trade 2 names. No, we'll trade more than that, but we need Micron to go. I'm waiting in the 30s again. Okay, 25s again. The best we've gotten is 30s, so if right now, we're not quite near daily goal, but if we can just get a couple more pennies here up on Micron through 95.50, then we'd be a hell of a lot closer to that. So here we go. Here we go, Neil. Yes, sir. Big trade alert right now. And again, guys, anyways, you guys know if I'm in a position here early, we should be something that we are trying to let it go. So let's see now if this one can get back up to the upside. There it goes. Okay, good. This is a good trade right now for sure for Micron. Yeah, let's just let it settle down a little bit. Yeah, let's take VWAP out, man. This is now $1 on big boy shares. So here we go, man. There it is, man. We've met our day goal right there on Micron, despite losing flat on Tesla, but giving up that opportunity on Tesla for sure. All right, Micron, there it is, man. 95 up to $96. It's a big time winner over here for Micron. So we can't complain at all on that one. So there it is, man. You need a face slapper. I mean, there it is, man. It's 1 times daily goal right there off the open at 940. So we want this to still go higher. We could lose one day in 5 seconds here if this drops back in. So just a nice trade off the open. I think we'll get out one more piece here at 93, and there it is. Now we
96,
can just...
you mean?
Yeah, 95, 93s, but yeah, $96. So right there, we take another piece out. We've still got on a little more than half, despite this move. So I'm going to take out another piece here before we drop. But so far, so good there, man. Big trade alert for Micron. Glad you guys are on it. Glad Neil's on it. Here we go. It's Micron.
Yeah, that 94 level is holding great. At this point, you got to VWAP. I'm trailing it out underneath the first green bar, which is right here. So either it breaks 94.7. I'm out of 75%. So I'm looking for VWAP break, get into the pre-market highs or lows, sorry, and then gonna give it a trail. Just let it try to breathe and see how far it can go. Tesla, not really. Tesla's continuing to head to the upside there. CCL, by the way, Carnival caught a bid off the $20 level, and now it's starting to ride VWAP. If this just starts making a trend down, it's usually a trend joiner on earnings day with CCL. But I'm going to go back to where we're trying to be patient. Intel, it's going up. It's just not near 24 yet. So again, preaching a little bit of patience with this because it took a while to revert it. It wasn't until about 9:50 yesterday in the morning that it really made its high. So I don't mind waiting another 5 or 10 minutes to try to short this thing. I feel like that's the prudent way to go. Only been in Micron so far. Palantir's not giving us anything. NVIDIA, I mean, it's still in the bottom end of the range, so NVIDIA's not looking all that strong. Yeah. I don't know why Tesla's so strong today, but I guess maybe that all hands-on-deck meeting was causing a spike in the stock. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it was the long that we wanted. Missed it. Went short, flat. Oh, well. All right, man. Out of some more Micron up there near that top. It is fading out just a little bit. But we're going to try to find something else. We had written down TQs here that we wanted to get 61s, but that's not right now. Despite that move higher right now, we're still well off of that. Again, you know, it's different when you're writing these levels out at 8:30. And the level's at $61. But for right now, nice little drop in on the TQQs. That name trying to figure itself out. And of course, that is just the market. All right, so Intel, let's have a quick look over here. Nice move up into the 200 period moving average. That could be a short, right? Nothing wrong with that. If we get that again, 2380. You're not too far away from 2380 right now on Intel. That could be definitely a play that gets me a little interested right there. 24 is more the level, but it's getting there. It is definitely getting there. Amazon was another level that we looked at. We wanted to look at Tesla, Micron, TQs, NVIDIA, and Nike. We did hear that NVIDIA was near lows. I'm sure that that's not the case anymore. Well, actually, pretty good. Still 115.50 there. The drop-off spot right there for NVIDIA. All right, Micron's come back in. We're going to have to watch out for this now. So we actually only now have a third, a little bit more than a third, about 40%, I would say. I was going to say 35%, but that's close to a third. And this could come back into this level. I'm going to wait for 94.50 again, just in case it does come back in. And, yeah, you know, we did take advantage of that early move. But if the market does fade out, they're not going to love Micron. So we'll wait to see what happens. But a little bit of a reload down at 94.50 is going to be the spot for me. Really glad that we were able to take all of that. Not all of it, but the majority of it out there at 96, making for a decent move right now. I still want to look for Tesla maybe pulling back in a little bit, especially if this market is roughly near the highs. I don't know. I mean, 242.50 or so for Tesla. We've been up here before these levels, so we could see that right into here. That was the high just on the 19th, so 2 days ago. We hit this 242 area and then fell pretty dramatically. So 242.50 or so as the high. We can wait to see if you want to play off that a bit. What's up, Adara?
On GM here, this is General Motors. Apparently, the Secret Service Agency is announcing that its director met with executives from GM to discuss next-generation armored SUVs. So apparently, some armored SUV talks occurring here between General Motors and the Secret Service guys. Also, keep an eye on OUST. This company is called Ouster Inc.
Building your online business?
A red candle to be seen here in this one today. A day one earnings play for a smaller cap company with about a $500 million market cap and a 10% short float. Back to you.
MRVI.
Whole thing.
LAZR.
Just for you real quick, have a look at the Toronto banks at the open, because there were some opportunities on a witching day that were very, very, very clean to the upside. I was just looking at a couple of them. With Intel, I'm trying to preach that patience with it, and now I've just hit enter way too fast because I was still on Toronto. So the market's starting to come back up. So if you were looking for fading some pops, this is, I think, that moment as the Nasdaq's trying to get higher.
MRVI.
We're still down 1% overall, but I'm now sitting 24.05 because that's where the
LAES.
local high was in the afternoon. I think if we get any kind of a pop, we'll get our short
GBHG.
in that name. Micron, I'd
LAZR.
love to see us tag VWAP again.
Oh, baby.
It's really
UAMY.
trying to go. I think you've made a bottom here in Micron. It's just a matter of how far the market's going to let this one go. Hit enter twice. So it's made a nice hold. The higher low is held. I still think you need to break this out at the 96 level. And I got to go over to QPTS, the quantum names that we're watching. That's trending
ADPT.
right back into that high, that 875. It didn't hold it the first time, but now you're working on a little bit of a trend break off of the
GDHG.
open on QBT, on
RNAZ.
D-Wave. Let's just say, 'cause
OUST.
I might mix that up in
UAMY.
QBTS and QUBT.
TIRX.
But it's trying to make a bit of a trend break here off that 875 high. Again, it is racing to the upside, and it's SSR as well,
GRRR.
despite being flat on the day. It was down 22% yesterday. So it needs to break for real this trend line, and then I can look for a short, or we wait for Intel, which is now getting very, very
ADPT.
close to our 24.
Yeah, 24 is the level that we are looking at for
It's
sure.
going to get there.
Look, man,
BTTR.
we've got a big position on Micron, and we just took some more out there in the 60s. So I'm just going to try to let this one settle down and see if we can't get a little more love here for MU. Get back up into, I mean, the next offer I have is 96.24. But now that we just had this move higher right here, there it is. Let's go. Come on, Micron. The only problem was we didn't buy the dip at 95. We waited for 94.50, thinking that this was going to be one of those downside moves. Palantir at all-time highs, at day's high right now
that's
as
gonna
well.
get there too.
DraftKings, you know, $38, that name going as well. But you know
RGC.
what, man? I'm just like
INLF.
laser focused
RNAZ.
right now on Micron. Nice move higher here. Where can we go? That VWAP 9670, we'd like to get to that level if possible. That would be sort of the next little area. As I said, 9625 is where I'm
OUST.
waiting for a out, and we'll see if that can come through one more time for us. But yeah, one more time. You sing it, Randy. As we get going, man, we are having a great day. This is probably one of the best mornings I've had all week, but it's just one stock. It's Micron. Look at your Tesla right here. Boom, to the upside. Right now goes Tesla. And this is the story with the stock market, man. It's like the minute you think everything is dead, it wakes its ass up. Nice move there for Tesla. Again, they had that meeting yesterday. Elon tried to calm everybody. There it goes. We tried the short. It was a winner until it wasn't flat right now on Elon and company here today. But we're just really making our day right now with Micron, Randy. It only takes one trade, and that's exactly what we've done here with MU. Let's see if we can get back up to the upside. Micron, not yet, man. Let's wait to see what winds up happening with that one. But thanks, Randy. As we keep
CCL.
on going upside now, $96. We're focused, man.
Yeah, it's going to break this 96 any second now. I see you in the chat. TP, GME it's up, but it's not a rocket. But we'll get to that a little bit later when things calm down. I actually think the chart looks really good on GameStop for the next couple of weeks. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but it's not nonsense.
ELAB.
Another tap of the $96 level. Now, I started red with a keystroke on Micron, so it's frustrating, but you just have to jump right back in. I say this every single time. If you ever accidentally get in, get out. If you ever accidentally get out, get in. It's just that simple as a trader. You don't want to let a trade go. I just misplaced the stop order. Now I want to see us hold the trend because we've double tapped VWAP. If we break a trend line, we get out. You know what? Intel is not breaking the highs. I'm sitting here waiting for 24.
NIPG.
But the longer this is
RDHL.
resisting the move, I think we got to be a little bit more patient. And Los Pollos Hermanos, Palantir is almost green. But my play on Palantir, it's rocketing up. My note was, look at the 50 period on the daily and what's been happening every time it breaks the 50 period. It's just wicking that top. So I'm looking for a mean reversion play on a break of 88, which is exactly the trade from yesterday. Like, let it break and then look for the trend reverse on Palantir. That's the trade I want on Palantir today, because I didn't think we'd get down to like the 80 level or anything like that. So I'm just waiting for it to get up there to revert it. That's what's been working, is sort of shorting those early day moves on a lot of stocks. I don't see a reason to get away from that today.
Big ups to any Canadian tickers. Yeah, let us know if there's anything you want us to look at. We could definitely do that. Come on, Micron. We just need to get this. 96.24 we're sitting at right here. This is going to be a...
RERE.
Oh, man. Like, the swings on the net here are pretty dramatic at some points here. It went to 96.20. Come on, man. We are just 4 pennies away from getting our fill there, ahead of 90. Okay. See, when that ever happens to me, I'm just like, okay, you know what, let's get out of 5% here instead. If it breaks above 96 one more time, I'd hate to have missed that by 4 pennies. Looks like we may have done that. That's too bad. Right there, look, 96.20, 22s maybe even, it went to right there. What? Oh, I'm waiting at 05 now? Okay, well, it just went to 04. So, all right, let's wait to see if we can get something out there, man. Tesla just continues to work higher as well. That name is Gonzo right now, up to 243. Good level there, good name, good long for anybody that had that. Oh, we did. Oh, no, we just did not get our Micron. I thought we did there, but we did not. All right, what else going on? Bitcoin down to 84,000. I say down to it, but I actually didn't look today. What is, no, I know it's 84, but what did we start out at? Right there. Okay, so it's been actually a nice morning. That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't sure if it was up or down, but there goes crypto right now. Well, at least there goes IBIT anyways. Looking at a bigger chart here for IBIT. Oh, that turnaround there on Micron, just missing by 2 cents. Right there, getting a piece out. Now it's probably going to tank. That happens to me all the time. 47.80 there is the 50-period moving average for IBIT. Pretty choppy at these levels. I think we will stay away from IBIT. So, yeah, 47.70. We'll wait to see if there's some directional play and hope that Micron can come back upside. What's up, Adara?
This part of the show is brought to you by VinFast. VinFast, the Vietnamese EV powerhouse, opened its new Green Series for orders earlier this week in Vietnam. The lineup features 4 models: mini car, ASUV, CSUV, SUV, and MPV, designed to enhance transport services and drive Vietnam's green mobility. The Green Series made a huge splash in Vietnam's auto market, racking up 45,813 pre-orders in just 72 hours, all confirmed with no cancellations. This unprecedented milestone not only sets a new record in the nation's automotive history, but it also highlights strong demand for VinFast green EVs among both individual buyers and service businesses.
RNAZ.
So far in January and February 2025, VinFast delivered over 22,500 EVs in the Vietnam market alone, already exceeding what they delivered in Q1 of 2024. Back to you.
Yeah, look, we probably should have. Well, we probably should have got into Intel, but like I said, we're going to be patient with it. Micron just held trend almost exactly. Here, I've drawn it on my black chart, so I don't have to worry about it. Like, it'll just be sitting there. Because for you guys, I'll flip back and forth, but I have the same stocks up when I stare up. So if we break this trend line on the 3-minute, I'm jumping out. Right now, that's going to be like 95.25, and then we let this one, and I want to let that ride. So it's either I want to look at Tesla, but the eyeballs are on Intel and on Palantir. Because those are the 2 screamers that we wanted to fade into. And Palantir is almost at that 88 level. It's been breaks of 88 that have been fades on this stock. So, again, appreciate a little bit of patience. Tesla, I don't have any levels up here until it gets to 252, actually. 250 to 252 on Tesla. If you had that on your bingo card today, congratulations. On a Friday, a 250 level, yeah, whatever, man. That's a fade up there. If it gets to 250, I'm looking short on Tesla. I didn't think that'd be remotely a thought today, but it is now.
Yeah. I mean, we were looking long on the name, but yeah, 250 would be real nice, like, if it can get up to there. We did get...
You got at least 234. I wanted 230.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. On a witching day, we don't know. I mean, $4 is actually not even that much.
Not even that much.
All right, so there it is. Finally, we get a little bit. We got some there at 02s, but we just got out of 5%. Oh, is my Stream Deck not working? I think it was. Did it just say bang there? No. Okay. Oh, it's down. Okay, Stream Deck is down. Okay.
Oh, shoot. No, it's not.
No, now it should work. Yeah, she just, Ramin was doing something over there, so thanks, Ramin, for that. All right, man. Micron, we just got 96. Let's go over some more things here to see what's going on. Elon and company, 243. Neil just talked about that, so we'll puff pass on that for now. All right, TQs. We were looking for the short. We could short VWAP. That's something that I am deciding right now because we're at VWAP. I mean, we're above on the TQs, but on the NASDAQ right here, VWAP's coming into play right now. That's 19,740. So there is a potential play there up to 60.50, which is the 200 period. So this could be a good wick top fade right now on the NASDAQ. I mean, now we've settled out, man. We knew that there was going to be big volume off the open. That is what happened. Now the market's trying to figure itself out. So with that being said, I'm going to put another 5% out right there at 80, so we get that now on Micron. And I am debating. I mean, Adam, I don't know, or anybody there in the chat that's a that trades like me basically is, what are you guys thinking about the futures right now, or anybody in the chat there that trades the futures? Because I don't know. It's just it's at VWAP. I am thinking a little bit of a downside play. This is what the TQs look like, or sorry, the Qs look like on a 30-minute chart. You know, the trend is still here. We're still underneath that 484. It's just, we knew that today was going to be a little volatile. Nothing wrong with sitting on your hands, like we had mentioned there. We are now, if we close out our micron position right now, then we get our daily goal. But then I'd have nothing rest to do rest of the day. So I'm going to slow down a little bit here. We just did get a piece off on micron. I'm actually going to take another piece right now at 75s. So there it is. And then now we'll just wait for that 96.25 level. Hopefully that can come in. All right, Adrian says long off double bottom, waiting for yesterday's close at 60. Yeah, so 61.50. I mean, great minds right there. We wrote down on our sticky note right there, 61.50. So, you know, we can look at Carnival. I mean, yeah, TQs. Yeah, so we'll wait. So Nike short, we'll look at that. Micron long 98, that never came in, so we picked 95, and that's going to be the trade of the day. Tesla right there, 234. That was perfect. That's now $10 in the money, and we should have actually had that one. And be patient for NVIDIA down there at 114 is what I'm talking about. But there's that Tesla, man. It's just too bad that it hit in the pre-market, and on it. Normally I would have taken it down here for sure. But there's 234, by the way, and that's what we had written down. But the thing is that when we're talking about quad witching, it's just going to be hindsight at the end of the day, because I wasn't going to take that anyways. You know, even when we were short here, I was like, oh my God, like, what is the price? What is the price? So I could just imagine down here, if it was fumbling, we would have definitely taken the long, but it never got that opportunity. It just went all the way to the upside. So for me, it was wrong on Tesla because we went short, but thankfully we lost a latte and made about 100 lattes right here on Micron. So that's the difference with me today. It's a big trade alert, but it's on Micron, and it was really smart getting out of Tesla. That's basically all that I can say out there. I'm thinking right now, maybe we've slowed down a little bit, but look at the market. The market just popped through VWAP. So are we waiting for VWAP at 240, or are we going short against 244?
I just trailed out of Micron, but also Intel's about to break trend, so I'm finally going to get into Intel. But we trailed out when when Micron broke trend, just trailed out at 95, 40-ish. The trigger was at like 45, so probably about 40 is where the fill happened. But Intel finally looking like it's going to fail the highs, so it didn't go green at any point. 92, 93, 96, 23.96 was yesterday's close, and it does not go green. So a good spot for a reversion play. Just need to see it close under. You know what? I'm going to nibble.
YHC.
We'll nibble 80s. Why am I still at 24.06? You get that bad habit of, like, you really want a price and you just sort of leave it in there. Well, it's not going there. So until the stop, if it goes green, I'm out. But I'm going to look to get into the short into the 80s on that. And then Palantir is the other one I want short. And it's right at that 88 level, pretty strong trend to the upside. If this breaks trend, those are the two things that I want to jump into. Maybe Micron double bottoms at 94. If it does, we'll take a shot. But one of these two shorts is what we're looking at right now.
We just shorted the market. We just took 20 handles, but we only got out of a piece. So let's wait to see. I'm going to go short into this, guys. I'm just going to play off the 200 period like we've been doing. So if we can get back up to 60-40 on the TQs, then we'll do that. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I mean, I do understand that I do have Micron as well. These both could go one way or the other, but we just take a little piece out right there. And then I'm going to try to go a little shorter, obviously, on the upside if we can get anything into 60-35s. 60-40s was the top right there. So we'll see if we can get a play off on that one. And then I am going to get a little bit more out on Micron now that we can get this pop through 95-40s. There it is, man. So we just get another piece out of Micron there. We'll go short the market, but that one will have to wait. So Micron working. We're getting more and more pieces out. It's a good thing we got out up there again on Micron. But here we go, man. The futures, it's trying to come back in again. Let's take 15 handles for another 10% if we get $60, and then we'll wait to see if we can reload. Here it comes. Give me it, give me it, give me it. Yes, sir. There it is, man. We'll go bearish on the market a little bit right here, and there it is. We put it on again, Neil, so here we go, man. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2 on our trades right now today. It's been a good day so far here. We'll just see if we can make it even that much better with a couple wins here on the futures. You want to do happening later or happening now?
Happening now?
Okay. All right, then let's do it. Let's go over to Adara and do happening now.
It is now.
After a pretty vicious sell-off yesterday, we have the S&P 500 once again here down about 1% to the downside. NASDAQ here down about 0.85%. We do have here a little bit of Fed speak on watch this morning, comments from Fed's Williams and Goolsbee,
RNAZ.
but no other major
UANY.
pieces of economic data to watch out for. However, we do have Donald Trump and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth making an announcement here at 11 a.m. So keep an eye on LMT and BA. We're looking for some defense contract news to come out here. Here is FedEx, one of our earnings plays from today. Strong actual numbers here, but guidance a little bit more mixed here, or they not even provided for EPS guidance, their revenue guidance. They do expect a year-over-year decline for FTX. Here's MSGR. This showing here kind of a nice start to the day for Bitcoin and these crypto stocks. Now they're giving up some of that move. Last but not least, your Tesla on watch. Another name that started off in a really promising way, but bleeding a little bit here.
RNAZ.
TSLA had an all-hands meeting last night led by CEO Elon Musk, who urged stockholders to hold on to their shares. So lots of tickers to watch out for. Again, no big economic data, but keep an eye on any of these defense plays at 11 a.m. Back to you.
Elon says hold on to your shares and the stock goes up. I remember when he said Tesla stock was overvalued and it was like the easiest short ever because everyone just punched short. But Palantir got in a couple of times here. Well, first of all, we were able to get 87.40 and then it wicked again this prior bar at 87.5, grabbed some 60s up there, but it's not breaking the pre-market highs at 87.20. As long as it's in that range, gonna scalp the range. We're into Intel short as well as, by the way, Tesla's bouncing off VWAP for anyone who's interested. But Intel could break that 94.24. If we break out, then we're gonna jump out of this trade. Feel like we're at least a little bit more patient with it this time, but we're able to catch it. This time I'm actually not in it too big. I never was able to add to it because it has not made any lower highs. But if we break out above 24, it closed at 96. I'll jump out. Remember, it was 24.25 that was the high, and then the local tops were like 24.5. So this is one that I want to take multiple shots at, but it's more about managing the risk on this. Because last time I lost what I would want to try to make on a full day on the first up move, which was nonsensical. This time we're not doing that. Oh, and the other play, like I said, Palantir coming back in, so that's okay. And Micron, we might get a double bottom on it. It's still holding those lows. It's a higher low for now. I trailed out when it broke trend. I'd still like to get a shot at this double bottom at 94. That's the support level on that 15-minute chart going back here, 94. So if it gets down there again, I don't see why we don't take another crack at Micron for the long.
Yeah, we're waiting for 94.50s. All right. I mean, we're out of half of the TQs. I mean, we got a great fill down there at 70 or 80, 77. I don't know what it was. Down there at the, well, I can check, but it looks like 78s. Down there at the 50-period moving average. So right now it's back to where we are. We've been taking out of some Micron. These are the only two trades we do have on board right now. Intel is popping off a little bit there, up to $24 as it continues to go higher. I know Neil's in that one, so watch out there. And then Amazon was another look for me. Come on, TQs. You guys know I'm only going to go here. If we break above this 60-60 area, actually, I put down 60-80, but now that I see this retracement back, let's go to 60-60. 60-61, stop out. I'm going to get more, but we have to get more. Oh, we just got a little bit more there. Okay, I was going to think about getting a little bit more, a little bit higher, but we'll take advantage of that. What reload? That's actually not a reload. That's the same. It is a reload, but it's just a little bit higher than where we were. It's just trying to get into a more of a complete position. We still don't have it, but Neil, there it is again. Another one there. The TQs, the futures have been the #1 P&L name for this show now for a very, very long time because we've just gone over there and it's just very calm trading. Because some days we'll go long, Tesla lose. I get Tesla and NVIDIA are probably the #1 P&L names, but I feel like as far as the success rate for me, the TQs has been probably the most successful. So really glad that we're trading the futures with everybody now. Another piece out right there as we get a little bit lower. So there we go, buy some more there at 02s. Again, just taking 15 handles. If we can scalp out right now, I mean, look what the futures are doing, right? Not much. So right now we'll scalp out. And again, different styles for everybody, as we always say. So I have to really monitor these trades. Using a little bit more shares, have to be careful with what we're doing. That's why I'm not reloading Micron until we get a lot lower. I don't love those trades. What I've noticed with my own trading is that if I'm going to continue to use these kind of share sizes, it's not really worth diddling in the middle. You know, smaller stuff, fine. But like, if I'm going to be in something, I'm going to try to actually be in it. So I'm waiting for Micron to go. We were really patient with that. We're able to double top, see a whole bunch of times up there at 96. We were waiting for VWAP. Our best out was 96.24. We missed that by 2 pennies when it was up there, and now we're paying the piper a little bit. But our net isn't changing. Our net's actually going up because we've slipped into the futures now. So let's wait to see. If this can come back into the 50 period, we'll cover some more. That's 85 is VWAP, so we'll cover a little bit more down there. If we can get that, then we'll put another order back down at 80, cover another 10% there.
Oh, there's flush.
And then hopefully, hopefully we get that flush in now. So here comes the NASDAQ.
RNAZ.
Hopefully it flushes. Right now it's not doing too much. But Micron may be the flush there, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. I just saw a little bit of a bid drop on Tesla and Palantir at the same time. So you make the assumption, if I see a couple of big stocks drop the bid, then I'm thinking that we probably had a drop on the futures as well, because we just took 87s on Palantir just took 87s. Now I want to look for the reload. You're starting to make, you got the wick highs, you're starting to make those lower highs come in there. All right, Micron is not, it's still at 95. I don't know if we're going to get that 94. So while we're being a little bit patient, Nike is only trending up. So we were joking around saying there's no chance it will get back into 69. It's above VWAP. It's not impossible now. I want to keep that one in mind. That would be a gap fill for Nike, I think, providing you with a little bit of an entry. But I want to be sort of focused on, like Palantir, I think you can get to VWAP, but it's still in the accumulation phase. So as long as it plays this range, I want to try to reload in front of 88 and then scalp inside the 87 to 88 range, hold the rest until VWAP. Normal special just said gold is tanking. Really? GLD taking it on the chin. I mean,
NMG.
Not something we usually trade, but worth noting for sure. You want to keep an eye on the VIX usually as well. Yeah, if there's anything else that you guys have been watching that we're not covering, I know CCL reported. My focus is on Micron, Intel, and Palantir right now. Carnival still not doing a heck of a lot. There was an initial pop and then a fade, and now it's doing absolutely nothing. So hold on to your butts, hold on to your shorts at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is for sure.
And then maybe it'll be your lucky day.
Potentially could be your lucky day, man. Luck of the Irish there. We already.
I just saw that.
We already missed that one. What was the lucky day reference about?
No, it was on the screen as I was saying that.
Shout out to Trade Ideas there. Go grab that. Cool. All right, so here goes the TQs, man. Downside now, down 3%, and there it goes, man. We're just trying to be, trying to make plays that we believe in and trying to make plays that we can, talk about, give you guys key levels. There it goes. Huge trade alert there for the futures, right? Glad that some of you are on that. Now it's 40, 50 handles in the money. We basically played off that. We tried to crowdsource some of this. You guys liked the trade. Well, I don't know if you did or not. Some of you talking about 61.50 there. All right, I'm going to get out some more now on Micron. Just because we'll get some more 95s, man. I mean, we're taking 50 cents on it. What are we supposed to do? We are really now, resting on this trade right now. So the futures are coming back in. We'll take another bid here at 75.
Confluence is the connected workspace where teams can do it all.
I mean, I'd be
like
fine
this
if Micron went there.
developer, mapping out a clear
architecture.
architecture.
Gets back up to the upside. 59.40, 59.20 right here on the futures could be that trade. So we'll wait to see if it does come in. I'm going to put my next bid there. 59. Let's put a bid at 59.40s. We'll go 59.44. We'll put a bid right there and see if that comes through. Micron with a nice pop-up right there as well as we continue to go. So, yeah, I mean, same thing as usual, right? Yesterday was a big day over here. We did what we wanted to do. We made the trades. It was a big, successful day. Now today, we're only in 3 names so far. Tesla, which we're flat, completely flat on Tesla. Again, I wish this would have just, like, if we got some 38 fills there, it would have negated then and we would have been up. But our best fill on Tesla was 38.74. We were waiting down here for VWAP to get this 38, didn't come through. Now you're seeing Tesla make that move lower, so that's too bad. And we even talked about shorting up there, but that was risky.